We kind of,
Awesome. Hi, welcome. Thanks for watching this video. I'm here with Michelle Weaver.
hey,
And I'm John Brooks, co-founder of Momentum Realty. Michelle Weaver is a Momentum champion. She used to be a member of the Brooks Group, and now she facilitates the Ascend Group here at Momentum. And it's a phenomenal program for newer agents. But Michelle and I, we always have conversations about what's going on in the market, where we see things. We have these incredible conversations on the phone, usually once a week or once per month. And we were like, why don't we just record one of these conversations? Because I think there could be other people out there who could benefit from what we're talking about.
absolutely.
So what are we talking about today, Michelle?
Yeah, I don't know, John, I'm talking to more agents than ever, brand new agents getting started that have watched what the real estate market's been doing for the last 2 years and have finally jumped in and they're ready to get a career started. I'm also talking to agents that are looking to make a change, and everyone wants to have a conversation about what's going on at the market and what can your brokerage do to ensure that I'm successful. And I think that, it's a really interesting conversation because there's so many different pieces of it, but at the end of the day, it's all going to really be about the agent and the work that they're willing to put in. And there's so many different options out there for brokerages, right? So like, what is it about momentum, and what do agents need to know coming into this market, especially if they're brand new?
Yeah, so there's kind of three different groupings of real estate agents, right? There's the top producers, the top 5% of the marketplace, which to get there, you have to produce more than $8 million in sales in a year period. Then you've got the agents that do, 10 to 20 deals a year, which is the messy middle is what I like to call it, because they're doing work, but they're not really seeing enough of the financial success where they're starting to build their net worth to be able to escape the rat race. And then there's the bottom 80%, which is where it's tough. Like that's where you're starting out, you're grinding. We were there, right? Both of us, Michelle, we
Yeah.
were there. Like you don't have any money, you don't have a lot of resources, and it's just about putting in the time and effort and building the skill over time. And so we're talking to each one of these levels almost every single day. We have agents contacting the brokerage saying, hey, what are you guys doing? What do you see going on? What's the differences about why are so many people looking at momentum versus other options? And Michelle, what are some of those conversations look like for you?
Yeah, the first thing I want to know is like, why did the person get into real estate, and like, what are their goals and what are they hoping to get out of it, right? To even see if we're in alignment. And I let people know, like, we want to be partnered with agents that have a passion for this and really want to be able to create a bigger life for themselves. So their goals aren't all real estate related, but they realize that they have an opportunity to make a big impact on the community and a big impact on their lives. And so, really, just starting that conversation out, learning a little bit about them is what's most important for me. And then, what's really exciting now is that we do have options for agents, regardless of the production level that they're at. And then it just comes down to, are they going to be willing to put the work into the program to be able to see the results that they're looking for?
Yeah, it's just like anything. You can sign up for it, but if you don't actually use it and actually go out and implement, then you're not going to see any sort of results. And what we're excited about is that the agents who do come over are seeing tremendous results. So just for those of you listening who don't know us, and this is your first video watching, we started in January 2020 at zero with 4 agents, and now we're here October 2022. We're over $500 billion in sales already this year, and we're a top 10 brokerage in Northeast Florida and in Gainesville, and we are in 13 locations throughout Florida, and we even have our license in Georgia. And we have agents that come in and they're $3-4 million producers, and they pop up to $20 million producers within a year using the same blueprint that my wife Brittany and I use to grow our business, and to do it in a way that's profitable. So we're not really as focused on, hey, you have to grind and do the grind culture, and that's the way to get to the top. We're really focused on being strategic with your time, really effective with the certain type of clients that you serve, and making sure that you provide an excellent level of service. That way you get the repeat, review, and referral business that's going to drive your volume long term. That's what gets us pumped up, is helping our agents become financially free and leapfrog the typical obstacles that we see at every single level of production. And that's why we only started the company to work with agents that were top producers. So no
Yep.
one really below $3 million in volume could join the organization. This year in April, we opened the doors because we built a platform for newer agents, the next wave of top agents. So there's still a lot of standards around it that they would be able to join the organization and go through a program. As Michelle alluded to, you get what you put into it. And the people who are putting their time and energy and effort into this, they're seeing tremendous results. And that's what really gets us pumped up. And there's no secret sauce. So we have the same CRMs as everybody else, right? We have the same websites as everybody else. We have the same free leads, Op City, Prime Street, Home Light, etc. as everybody else. What we teach is business, how to be a business person, not just a real estate agent, how to think strategically through your organization, how to appropriately track the key metrics of your organization, and then layer a mastermind component on top of that with some of the smartest and brightest agents in the marketplace that, again, we don't care what your volume or your units are. We care about what your net profit is. You got into this business to net profit for you and your family. You didn't get into it to produce a ton, get a bunch of ego accolades that do nothing for you. And then go home and to look at your bank account and see there's nothing there, right? We want you to actually get out of the rat race. And that's what we teach at this company, which is actually surprisingly very different. Brokerages, we opened the company because brokerages lack teaching investments, teaching taxes, teaching what variables actually matter in real estate. We are the counter to that. We are filling the gap in the marketplace for that. And we do it by bringing in valid trainers, speakers, and coaches, by sharing from our own experiences and sitting there alongside you as sort of your board of directors. So when you get stuck, you get to reach out to leadership and we'll be with you right there to help you push through whatever obstacle that you're looking at. So it's a really cool platform. And I think that's part of the reason why it's grown so fast. We are looking at the numbers relative to the other competitors. We've been in business less than 3 years, and the level of production of these agents it looks like a 20-year company. So it's something that we're really proud of, for these agents getting to that level in such a short period of time.
Absolutely. And one of the things I tell people is, you can go to a lot of brokerages and hang a license, and we don't want to be in business with people who are just looking to hang their license somewhere and maybe do a transaction here or there. We're looking at, because we know that who you surround yourself with matters so much, and being able to get into a room with people that have similar goals to you and bigger goals than you, goals that may seem crazy. I mean, John, we sat down at the beginning of last year and I was talking to you about what I wanted my income goal to be. And you were like, no, it should be this. And it's more than that. And so it was funny because I was like, I'm not going to let you be right on the money. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more than that. Right. But I wouldn't have thought of those goals as feasible had I not been sitting in a room with somebody who's going to challenge me and push me to the next level. And so that's one of the biggest pieces of value. And when we look at the agents who show up, and I know nothing gets me more excited than when we get somebody onboarded and they're like, I'm getting all the emails and I'm taking action and I'm doing this today. And I've watched this many videos because like you mentioned, we started and then COVID hit. And so that means that we've got videos of everything that we did because we did it just like this on Zoom. Wasn't the goal, but it's how it wasn't the initial plan, but it's how it worked out. And so there are people that can go back and see it all. And when you're not busy and when you're just getting started out, if you can just be in that like learner and soak it all in, you can get things done 10 times faster. And so I have a lot of conversations where people see the value in, yes, who you're in the room with matters. And then I have other conversations where people are more worried about other things. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I'm able to be very honest as to like, we're not going to focus on that. And if that's really important to you, then I would just challenge you as you're talking to those brokerages that really focus on those things. Ask them, what are the results that your agents are seeing because of XYZ, because of the website, or, and really make sure that the results and the track record that they have around it match what your goals are.
That's so good. It's so true. The content that you receive is incredibly important, right? It goes into your brain. You start thinking about it, then you start taking actions on that information that you receive. So if you're around a bunch of people that produce 2 units a year and they think like 2-unit producers, you're going to start thinking like a 2-unit producer, right? But if you're sitting in a room with somebody who's like, let's 10x this, let's get to the next level, let's move to the next level, and there's accountability and a push forward towards a bigger life, you're going to start thinking in that way as well. So it really matters who is also delivering the content, because you can't learn from somebody who has never done it themselves. It's really, really hard. It's one of the most common culprits is you're learning from somebody who isn't financially free, and they're trying to teach you how to be financially free. You're learning from somebody who's never been a top agent, how to be a top agent, right? It doesn't make any sense. And that's why a lot of the school system in that case doesn't really make a lot of sense. Yes, we have the textbooks and we have the best practices and we have that information, but you want to learn from somebody who's actually achieved it and has achieved it in a similar market to you, and you can get the guidance and the nuances between the lines in the textbook that make all the difference between success and failure. And that's where this company steps in, because what's cool about this community is they collaborate on what is the best practice in this market. We talk about, should you be buying online leads in this market? How should you be structuring your teams in this market? What leverage should you be getting? How are we going to play interest rates? What are we going to do with our cash positions and our businesses to be able to pick up investment properties? These are the conversations that we're having. We're not having, how do I write a contract conversation? Yes, we have that content, and it's important to know how to write a contract, but you can learn that on your own time. That's not going to require a specialist with, high level thinking that's going to move the ball to the next level. And that's a really important difference, is what we choose to focus on actually will make the difference in your business, not the stuff that's the shiny objects, right? A lot of agents right now, they're susceptible because the market's changed to shiny objects. Free leads. I've got a ton of leads. I've got this. My CRM produces leads, this, that. It's all the same. It comes from the same places. It's Google pay-per-click, Google local service ads, Zillow, realtor.com, Opcity. They're all pretty much the same companies. They're just naming it something different, and it's a promotion. What you want to do, exactly what Michelle said, is ask them, what's your average production of an agent at your company? What's the profitability of the person at the company? Because you didn't get into this business, I don't think. You didn't go through all the licensing and do all the work and spend the money to get into this business just to sell 1 or 2 homes per year. Maybe you did. This is not the company for those people. This is the one where people want to get to the next level, get out of debt, start buying investment properties, learn tax strategies, and then start collaborating and living a great life with other people doing the same thing.
Exactly. And one of the things that's been so cool to watch with us starting the Ascend group, which I don't think we mentioned, is owned and operated by our top 20 agents, our champions from last year, is seeing the level of excitement. People will kind of like naturally find people that they gravitate to. Maybe that Ascend agent has helped with some showings, and so they've gotten to know each other. They've gotten to know each other through showing up to trainings, but watching them cheer each other on, and the excitement that our top agents get from watching this new blood that's coming into the industry win is like one of my absolute favorite things about our culture at Momentum. And so it's just like an exciting place to be. But again, you have to show up to get that. When I talk to agents who are thinking of joining Ascend, and they're like, well, who's going to be my go-to? And I'm like, well, the more things you show up to, the more go-to people you're going to have, because we recognize the people that show up in person and who are on the Zoom trainings and things like that. We see that you're there. And so when opportunities become available, we're going to reach out to you first. If I need an open house done, I know what agents show up, and I'm going to reach out to them and say, hey, I know you've gone through all of this training and you're going to take the right steps. Like, I want to give you the opportunity. So people want to help people who put in the work.
It's not hard to get involved and to take off very quickly when you show up and do the work, like you said, Michelle. And that's at any brokerage, right? It doesn't even matter where you're at.
Yeah,
a lot
not
of
at all.
We'll say, oh, the market's getting hard, I'm going to look to blame my brokerage for it, when it's like reality check. You need to put the mirror up to yourself and saying, am I doing the day-to-day work that I know I need to be doing to grow my business? And look, sometimes that requires a change of location or a change of environment for you to reset your habits. What's really cool about this organization is it's super affordable. The value that we provide is way beyond what we charge our agents by far, with the training and the resources that we provide. So just to go over some of the stuff that we do provide, because this is the thing people ask us all the time. Like you guys, you say it's a no babysitting culture. There's no drama. We're looking for people who are focused, positive attitude, really care about the customer, all of those amazing things. I can see on your social media, you have all these in-person events. You've got all these trainings going on every single week. We do. So I'm going to just go over a list of things that we do have, just so you don't have to ask. We do have Op City and Prime Street. Those are the free referral companies. We can help you get in touch with some of the other ones if that's of interest to you. We have access to showing agents built in the company. So if you're not available to show a home, you can pay somebody else $25 to $50 to go show a property. And we have agents all throughout North Florida who are happy to help. We have built-in transaction coordinators that you can pay on a per file basis. You get access to tons of open houses. We've got so many listings through this company. You have access to getting Follow-Up Boss, which is one of the best CRMs out there, at a 68% discount. And included in that is an auto dialer, and you can do group texting and everything like that. You get access to me and Michelle. You get access to my wife, Brittany, our leadership team. You get access to all the champions. We have 22 champions at the company that produce over $8 million in sales. So they're in top 5%. And they're phenomenal. You get access to all of them. So if you want to meet with them, you want to connect with them, all you have to do is reach out and we can get on the calendar. And when you do, our goal is to get you to that $8 million plus volume. When you hit that, you actually earn stock in Momentum Realty in a private company pre-IPO. You get access to the opportunity to purchase commercial real estate through an LLC that we created, which is awesome. So we are creating additional investment opportunities for our top performers, and our top performers also invested in the Ascend Group. So they're financially incentivized to help our agents who are coming in brand new to get to the next level and to really push their business forward. So we set this up all this way because we know that there's only a few things that matter in real estate, and we're just going to focus on those things for you. And everything else, it's not necessarily a distraction. Yes, it needs to get done, but let's talk about the things that are going to move the needle to get you to the next level. All those other things, we can give you the resources to, and you can just go crush it on your own. When it comes to having a conversation about business direction, let's have that conversation.
Absolutely. And when we talk about our training, we've got like the functional basics that we're going through and we're training on that. Hey, again, this has been done at a high level and a team has seen massive results, and multiple teams have then implemented this and it works, right? And this is information that you and Brittany got from spending tons of money and time with coaches for your own personal development. Like, I don't think people necessarily understand how much you guys have invested into this. And so everyone else just gets to skip over that. We don't have to find the coaches. We wouldn't even have access to the coaches that you guys have access to. And then not only that, what you bring from all of that, self-development, but then we've got people coming in. I think of our last 4 trainings that we've had, 2 or 3 of them were solely mindset based, right? And when we are talking about a market shift and everything that's going on, there is a whole lot that we cannot control right now in real estate. The one thing that we can control is our mindset. And so I don't know that there's any other training that we need to be having right now, aside from how do we stay positive? How do we take action and really have accountability for what's going on the inside, because we can't control what's going on the outside. Let's cancel out all the noise and let's focus on making ourselves better at this point so we can be better for our community.
I love it. Yeah. And this is a good time to get your systems in order, right?
Exactly.
So when things change, go back to your model and find out where the gaps are. We have systems and models and trainings on how to find where your gaps are. And one of them that we see a lot of agents have is their customer touch program. And they do a great job serving the customer, and then they just totally drop the ball in staying in constant communication. We just had a training on that, how to have 100+ touches. And what's so cool about Momentum is we actually invest in your business to grow it for you as business partners. And we do that through this program called the Focus Program, where we send out mailers. We actually pay for the mailers up to 100 per month for you. We design them. We put your logo on it, your contact information. It's purely yours. We do 2 emails for you as well. We also have this other program called Lolo, which is phenomenal, where you can get local gifts sent in the form of a text message and email to your customers as well. We are trying to help you automate your customer touch programs, because we know when you do that, you're going to see 10 to 30% referral rate on whatever size database that you have. And it's going to grow organically year after year after year. And that's how you get out of the rat race of having to lead generate every single day. Provide the great service, make sure you stay in touch with your customers, get a system together to get referrals from those customers, and your business will explode. Your profitability will be fantastic. And we're super excited because we have almost half the brokerage signed up on this platform, and it's taking off and making a meaningful difference over time with these top performing agents. And all you have to do is come in and plug and play. We have the success blueprint. We have all the information that you need. You just come in, you show up, and you plug and play with the systems and models that we have. You don't have to recreate anything yourself. Any of the listing presentations, the buyer presentations, any of that, we have it all built out, and we have trainings on all of it. And all you have to do is just grab it and run with it. And that's what I wish I had when I started in real estate, and they did not have that available to me. And so now we're offering it here for you. At an incredible value. I mean, seriously, the amount of value is huge for what the cost of the company is. So we're super excited to see the growth, and we think that's the reason why it's growing, because the value is way higher than the cost. And we look forward to talking with more of you out there if you're considering a change. And just make sure that when you are making the change, ask the hard questions, ask the leadership questions, ask the leaders, what is your validity? Tell me about your financials. Tell me about your investing. Tell me about your lifestyle. All the things that are going to be important for you as somebody to determine, is this somebody I want to follow, is going to be massive. So please do ask the questions. And if you need a list of questions to ask, just email me and I'll shoot them over to you, because we do have a list. Michelle, anything?
I think you even have a list on the website.
I do have a list on
No,
the
I
website.
mean, I think that wraps it up. And I mean, I get it. I get why agents are looking for somewhere to go right now. And, you know, if this is the time where they have that, they're a little bit slower and they can perfect their systems and processes, like, hey, just wherever you are, make sure that you're jumping in and you're learning and you're reflecting and you're really setting goals and setting yourself up for next year.
I get it, guys. It's scary because you see that sales declining, your bank account's going down, you're maybe living off of credit cards, maybe you got, you know, the tax bills coming up. All of these things, they add up. We've been there. We know how to get you through this. We've walked so many agents through this onto a plan and to just get out of the hole that they're in. And we know how to do it, and we want to help you get there, because that's why we started the company. And we've seen so many agents time and time again come in and say, I've got 3 years of back taxes. I've got all this credit card debt. I've got this and that. And we help them come up with a plan to solve that and get out of it. And it is super rewarding. And all along the way, you're providing a huge service to the Florida community, because there's not a lot of great agents out there. And so if you can be one of those great agents that is going to be able to serve people at a high level and get the financial accolades, that's going to be a huge win for you and for our company, because that's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, guys, reach out if you need anything. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
See ya.